Welcome back to ANZCRL Daytona 24 Hour for 2020. We're back and Sato's joining us. Sato, co-driver of the leading driver. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. Looking forward to sitting back and relaxing this session. Hoping my teammate can keep it clean and out in front.
It is a little bit more relaxing than it was a pretty intense session last night. Two of us going head to head.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. Had to chase you for an hour and 20 minutes. And
Yeah, I tried to keep you behind me.
I think I just got an edge in that final pit stop that was able to get me in front of you.
So now we see Lockie 555 will be leading us away with a 14-second lead over Loft Vanish in the 51. Lloyd will be 42 seconds back.
Yep.
And then Aussie will be another 8 seconds off the back of Lloyd, seconds behind. Then Darky will be 1 minute and 11 seconds off the lead. And Nürburger, driving solo, will be 1 minute 27 seconds off the lead.
So you almost
so when we get a restart,
down.
Then we have the GTE cars. Freight Trainer's the leader at the moment, doing it solo. Simo, who we just noticed hasn't got a full tank of fuel, so that might come back. That'll be just something to take note of throughout this session. He's in second place with Highlander as his teammate, and Timmy stepped in for the first session as well. So that's the only team that's running. And we've got the lights going, so we'll go back to the leaders. And there goes Lockie.
Very slow start from Lockie.
It was a little bit slow. Took him a while to engage gear. As you can see in the background, the GTE cars also had the opportunity to take off. And they passed, they were off. Session 3. Cold tyres at the moment. Treading very carefully around the hairpin. Freight Trainers maintained his lead. Simo will be pushing very hard early though, with a light tank of fuel. Maybe that's a bit of strategy. Maybe he's realised he's going to have to make two stops already, and he's going to push hard early. Maybe try and make a break. So Loft Vanish in second in the LMPs. He's going to have to deal with a bit of GT traffic early in the race, early in this session. That's my teammate. He's been putting in all the testing, all the mileage for this race. He's been the lead driver, so hopefully he can whittle away that lead to Lockie.
Yeah, he showed very good pace.
I wasn't able to manage to get to a lot of those test sessions, so it's good to hear that he's on the pace. He's only a fairly new driver to ANZCRL. He's an old timer though, RSJ, been around for a while in the Ford.
Yeah.
Settling in on the first lap. Now we've got a battle here in the LMPs. Lloyd in third spot, and Carter's. Now Night Pegasus has fallen off the back of that pack fairly early, just probably taking it cautiously. Yeah, definitely not quite. The car's not quite at operating temperature there through the chicane. It looked a little bit wobbly. And we've got a close. And Darky's actually. Oh no, that's right. Darky and Nürburger, the last of the LMP cars. Woody. You've got the Porsche, wow, that's a mixture of Ford and Porsche together. We've got the Ford, which I like that paint job. Every time I went past it, I just sort of caught my eye.
It is a good one, that black and electric green.
Yeah, it stands out under the lights. We've got Woody, who was leading in the first session, but with some great strategy and fuel mileage, managed to get through the first session, first hour without coming up on traffic now already. Ooh, very tentative there. He's taking his time. Safe, but good.
Yeah, no, Darky's did well there. It's only the start of a 2-hour session, so you don't necessarily need to risk it all right at the start, especially when you're so far back.
But it is a sprint Saturday. That's what I found last night. You really have to push hard and push early. There's no time to let off. Every second is valuable. You can tell by these two here. They're battling away for third spot in the LMPs. You've got Lloyd in the orangey LMP. Aussie Carter here in the white one.
See how Aussie Carter's goes. He's been struggling for straight line speed.
Got two GTEs battling away. Changing lines. Oh, he's had to go low under the yellow line. Not quite aware that the LMP car was sneaking up on him there. Very tight situation there. And this is from air. Oh, the BMW's going wide. He's managed to gather it up as you can in turn one. Very easy to brake a little bit late there and overshoot the first corner. And he's locked up a little bit there. He's struggling with the car. I don't know how many miles he's done in this car. Very new to the Project CARS2 ANZCRL. I actually haven't seen this guy drive before, so he's struggling to pull it up in that hard braking zone. He's hoping that car's going to settle for him. Oh yeah, missed the apex by a good 5 meters. He's thinking, oh my goodness, I've got 2 hours of this still to go. Car, come to me, please. Lockie's extended that lead. He's pulled it out from 14 seconds to 15 seconds. So I guess it just depends on what part of the track they're on. Yeah. But it looks like he's definitely settled in. A little bit wide there. Oh no!
Oh no!
That is terrible timing. He's put the front of the car into the pit wall. Very easy to do on that corner. Over rotate it. Let's see how much damage he's got. Will he have to pit?
Might have to.
Will he have to pit? How much damage has he got on that car? We'll go on board. How's that steering wheel tracking?
Looks like he's left hand down.
Has he got full speed?
No, he
he's
doesn't.
had to lift through the... No, this is definitely car damaged. Car damaged early in this session. This is strategy. Strategy's gone. Off Vanish is only 3 seconds behind now.
Yeah.
Catching him.
LaFange has been given the lifeline that he needed.
After the session I did last night, yes, this is what we were hoping for. We needed a little bit of luck to go our way. Will Lockie come into the pits? This is a battle for the lead. This could be a turning moment for the race.
You have to pit. You take the pain now.
Oh, look at that. He's struggling to pull it through the chicane at that speed.
Yeah, just take the pain now. Get it fixed up. Top up the fuel and just run flat out. And I mean, Lockie's been the fastest driver all week, so he's got the pace to catch back up. He's just got to.
That's right, and they still have another 5 hours of this racing still to go. So
staying out.
5 hours, 2.5 hours. He has stayed out. So we'll have a look at this. This is the battle for the lead of the GTE.
Down in straight line speed. And here we go, Simo and Freight.
Simo with the light fuel tank. He's pushing Freight. He's in the draft. He's pulling up on him. No, he's not going to have a look too early yet.
Geez, 295.
He's closed in on them. Oh, massive slipstream in the banking. Great little battle here for the lead of the GTEs. Cars are so evenly matched.
Aussie Carter's behind him. He's going to struggle to get past him in this early stage.
Oh, he's run wide. Frank's run wide a bit there. Simo's putting under intense pressure. We've got Nürburger in the pits. That's a very early pit stop. I'm not sure what's happened here. He's got plenty of fuel. I'm guessing it's damage.
Yeah. It should be just fuel and damage repair.
Aussie's managed to pass those two GTEs on the banking, coming up to the bus stop chicane. So he hasn't lost too much time. He's only 12 seconds off the lead here.
He's very quick in that first session, ANZCRL.
This race is still well and truly on. We've got another car in the pits. Arrow's just leaving. Maybe there was a bit of an incident between the two.
Could be. Lockie's
and
in the
Lockie's
pits.
lost. Our Lockie's come in the pits.
Yeah.
He tried an extra lap
Empty.
to see if the car was any good, but so Loft Vanish is now the leader, and Aussie Carter up into second, and Lloyd into third, and Lockie's falling down through the field. Even Darky's just passed him right then. How long will this pit stop be? Oh, it's going to feel like an eternity sitting there. The pit crew's working hard. But down, further down the field.
Yeah.
And Simo's past Freight. We missed that movement.
Yeah.
We missed that. Has Freight got any answers? Can he stick with him? And little will he know that Simo's on a different fuel strategy.
We wouldn't know because so.
No, and Freight doesn't have a teammate to be corresponding to him.
Yeah.
So he's driving blind. He's probably thinking, how the heck has Simo got so much pace over me? Who
Lockie's
is this
about to
freak of a
come out
driver?
ahead of Nürburger.
Lockie's pulled out. Here he comes out of a very tricky pit lane. Got to be careful. Oh, he's run right a little bit there over the sleeping policeman. I think that'll be a penalty.
Doesn't
How's
hurt
the
the
car
car as
handling
much going over them on Project Cars as opposed to iRacing.
Yeah, well, I won't talk about that. I had a bad experience a couple of weeks ago on over those yellow slowdowns. How's the car handling? How does it look? You're a very experienced operator of this car, Sado.
No, it's looking fine. Damage has been
That looks
fixed.
fine.
It's got full fuel.
100% back on track.
Yeah.
And look at the time Aussie Carter has taken in on Loft Vanish. He's screaming up. He's only 6 seconds behind now.
Did Loft Vanish make a mistake on that previous lap? Look at that time.
Well, it's a 141, so that's a very slow lap. Loft Vanish, maybe traffic.
Could be.
It's hard to pass the same LMPs, same class category cars. Even if they're 1 or 2 seconds off the pace, it's still very difficult to pass them on this track. And look at Dark Racing. Only 12 seconds off the lead. What a drive.
Yeah.
Things have changed. The cards have definitely been shuffled early in this session.
Well, they say that anything can happen in a 24-hour race, and it usually does.
24 hours is a long time. Oh, that sounded like... That was somebody's off the track.
That was
there,
Carter's.
Darky.
Carter's was off.
Aussie Carter's dropped it. Dropped it at the bus stop.
Did
Darky's
he hit
made
the
up
wall?
another position.
That,
These conditions must be very tricky in the middle of the night.
that NVRR livery Ligier is a cursed one. Both number 2 and number 3 have struck trouble already.
Yep. Lockie and Aussie Carter's. Looks like Aussie Carter's got off a little bit more lightly than Lockie did though. So we've got Loft Vanish leading. Lloyd, 9 seconds behind.
Yep, closing in.
Darky's right on his tail. Darky's flying in this session.
Could be 3-way scrap for the lead of the prototypes.
Wow, look at the time he's just made up in the International Horseshoe.
There's Par.
He's moved offline, but Lloyd did not take the offer. He lost a little bit more time. And Darky's in the slipstream here. Just could have a look here at the bus stop. This would be a great move.
Getting too much gain in the slipstream at the moment.
Look at these LMPs over the bumps. They just shake and bounce and vibrate and throw you around. It's a very physical race.
Yeah, cars are very... These cars are
Lloyd's
very
gone
stiff.
deep. I thought he might have gone. Yes, he has gone deep. He's missed the apex. He's run wide through on the banking. Lloyd's trying to gingerly take it back up on the banking. which can be pretty tricky to do.
Yeah,
But there's another position for Darky.
Didn't want to hit Darky. He actually did well
second. From second last to second.
Yeah.
In 15 minutes. Incredible. Incredible.
And he, all of a sudden he's mitigated any losses that Gear 3 Gaming had last night.
And Aussie Carter's had to go to the pits.
Must have had
might have got damage. Critical. Critical. This is unbelievable.
So we've already had 3 prototypes into the pits in the first 15 minutes.
That's not the plan. Loft vanish. He's got to keep his head dark. He's pushing hard. Everyone's trying there.
Trying to come back after his earlier crash. He's over a second faster than the next quickest car.
Interrupted the lap there as well. Be interesting to see when the time stabilise. What sort of lap times people are doing. Aussie Carter's still in the pits. Lockie's passed him.
Yeah.
Lockie's passed him.
Of course, Carter's would have a longer pit stop as he needed to put more fuel in the car than Lockie.
Yep. And the brains will be buzzing at this point in time. What is my strategy going to be? How am I going to run this to the end of the 2 hours? Simo's taking a strategy. I think he's trying to rob freight from the Nürburgring's just got a penalty.
Yeah.
But yeah, Simo's really trying to drop freight from the draft. He's running up high against the ball. Oh, and that's a cut. That's a slowdown there.
That's why. That'll be why Simo's not pulling away so much. Is that he's probably been getting a few slowdowns.
Right. Is he going to lift? I chose not to in last night's session. I thought I'd take it in the take the hit in the compression. He's running up against the wall though. He's going to have a penalty here. He watches across the line. The red light will come up.
Yeah.
On Simo.
Last night I lifted for slowdowns to help save a bit of fuel.
2 of mine come when I was trying to lap GTEs. So I just had to bite it. Otherwise I would have had to drop back behind the GTEs again. I thought it's just not worth it. I don't want to pass the same cars twice.
Yeah.
I was just punished brutally. 2 seconds every time I got a slowdown. A penalty. Thought it was very harsh. So who haven't we had a good look at? Woody running on his own at the moment. Making his way back up through the field. He's probably doing a bit of fuel conserving, maybe a bit early. He wants to really get this car to the hour mark without a pit stop. So he'll be looking after that for juice. I was going to have a look at the timings to see what Nürburgring's penalty was, and it is 2 seconds. So it's just obviously just a. So Woody, yep, he's the strategy man. He knows this car inside out. He's done a lot of laps in this Porsche. He's a Porsche man through. Look at that.
He almost got a podium at last year's Le Mans in his Porsche, so he knows the inside out.
Almost, and what happened was that was fuel related. They missed the podium as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it just ran out at the Ford chicane.
Yeah, so it's a tough car to manage with the fuel. It's got the advantage of more fuel or being able to conserve it a bit more. But when you use that strategy, you're always running risk of pulling up short. We've got Lockie. Lockie's up on someone here. Only RSJ in the GTE, so it's not a pass for position. Oh no! Turn 1. It's always tricky when you're offline and you're trying to pass a car. Turn 1 has been his nemesis tonight.
It's almost worth just sitting back and waiting.
Yeah, it's a catch-22, isn't it? You can lose time by sitting back and waiting, and you can lose time by throwing it up there, and it really does throw you off your braking market when you have a car in your vicinity. But he's settled down, regathered himself.
One thing that Lockie and Aussie Carter's can take solace in is that their final pit stop of the race will be a bit shorter than the cars at the front, so they're not actually far behind as what they appear at the moment.
RSJ. RSJ started this session.
Yeah, he's been
Started
solid
the
all race.
session 15 seconds behind Magic Hen. So he's made up one position.
RSJ
got a
led for a
good
fair
gap
chunk
on.
at that session last night. Yeah.
We'll just have a look at the gap. We'll go straight to Freight here. So he's in turn 1, and RSJ's coming out of the final banking. So that's a good, well, 20 seconds?
Yeah, about that. 20 seconds.
And then we have Magic Hen.
Yep.
Chasing down RSJ in the GTE, just across the start-finish line. Taking that nice, wide, looping line down into turn 1. How does he manage it?
Doing some reasonable lap times there.
Yeah, it looks like the car's settled down. He was struggling early there. And then we have Woody. Back, the next GTE car back. So he's coming it in. See how he negotiates turn 1. Everyone takes different lines through turn 1. It is one of those corners. It's a brilliant corner when you get it right. It absolutely sucks when you don't. And Paro, so you can see the gap back to Paro. He's got some work to do, but smash those laps down.
Prototypes will be halfway through their fuel stint now. Or the ones up the front.
Got Loft Vanish leading. Very consistent driving here by Loft Vanish. Thought Darky was really chipping away at that lead, but the times have settled down. He's back into the 136s. He actually did 2/10 faster than Darky on that last lap. And you can see Lockie did a 138.
Yeah, that'll be that
fast
running
man on
wide
track,
at
but
turn 1.
Turn 1 incident. And that's how the traffic can really affect this race. You can lose 3 seconds in the lap, and it can take you another 10 laps to get that 3 seconds back, if not more. So Loft Vanish, 37 litres still left, so another, he really wants to hit the 40 minutes, wants to get past the 40 minutes. You want to divide this session into 3. 40 minutes, 40 minutes, 40 minutes.
Yep.
That's why it's so critical to have no incidents, and if you do have an incident, try and do it after. So there we see Loft Vanish just working through that little wobble wiggle after turn 1. Here's Darky. He's got a GTE to negotiate here. Let's see how he manages it. Or GTE stays. No, he wasn't on line.
Yeah,
He probably
Woody.
offered the inside to Darky, and Darky didn't take it.
Yeah, Woody's always been very courteous to when he's lapped down.
So that was Woody.
Yeah.
And I think I can hear another LMP. No, it wasn't Lloyd. But there's another LMP car mixed in that as well. This is Lloyd in 3rd. Just about 10 seconds behind Darky. He's doing 137s, which is not absolute race lead speed, but that's all you have to do, stay on the lead lap, and things can change so quickly, as we saw in the first 15-20 minutes of this session.
He's actually picked himself up a time penalty as well.
Let's have a look at that.
It's the second prototype
Lonely.
to get a time penalty.
So Lloyd has copped the 2.
Done the same thing as Nürburgring, I imagine.
Yeah, it's so easy to do. You don't have to get it wrong by much. In fact, a couple of mine, I didn't think they were penalties, but obviously you can't argue with the race directors when they say you've cut the corner. Very similar to Surfers Paradise. Sometimes it can feel like you haven't, but technology's there to prove you wrong.
I guess has done a good job.
He's very steady, very steady. He had just the tyre glitch in the first session and really struggled, but you can see this is his real pace. He's managing to keep the leaders in sight here. So that's Pegasus coming into the northern hairpin.
The international hairpin nowadays.
The hairpin. Okay, we call it the international hairpin. This one that he's coming to is the horseshoe, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a strange corner, this one. I like it. Sort of almost two apexes, but
Yeah.
you get the power down very early.
From driver to driver.
Okay, so we'll drop down to Aussie Carters. So that's a massive gap now.
Yeah. Still
Okay,
got
no,
that
sorry,
speed
Night Pegasus.
issues.
Night Pegasus, and then we've got Lockie. So, wow, that's quite a gap. But he's done one pit stop more, so if he has to take less fuel in that last stop, it could save him a good 10, 15.
Gaps. The gap in reality is not as big as what it's showing on the screen once you factor in all the pit stops.
I just flicked to RSJ. It's gave me the little warning that there was another car close to him, but I think it was Nürburger just passing him, the LMP2 car. So the gaps have sort of settled now.
Yeah, Simo's pulled away from
that...
what he needed. In fact, you'd almost expect
now,
Simo to
I'm
have to make a pit stop soon.
Yeah, you're right there. I'm going to have a look at the difference between Freight's fuel and Woody's fuel to see how the fuel master, Woody, how he's managing the fuel load and if he's going to be able to get the car to the 1 hour mark. So Freight is on 54.2. Let's have a look at Woody. Let's see how much more fuel he's managed to save.
There you go.
1.6.
Pretty similar.
Yeah. He hasn't really saved much fuel. It's not going to save him a lap there. Well, it could, but
maybe Freight Train
in total,
is just...
it's not a lap.
Maybe Freight Train is just saving fuel
smart
the same
as well.
as Woody.
Yep. So Simo's pulled it out to a 9-second gap. Simo Racing 4.
Expecting me in 5
He's
laps.
pulled out a 9-second gap over Freight. But yeah, he's going to have to pit very soon, and then he's going to have to make. Oh yeah, he's decided to go the low fuel in the first stint. Then he's going to run a full tank, and then he's going to go again. So he knows he has to make 2 stops, so he's decided I'm going to blast it early in this and really make Freight chase me. And maybe Freight won't have the discipline to manage the fuel to the hour mark. But as we can see, we don't know if Freight's doing a good job or Woody's doing a poor job. I'd say on history that both the Porsche drivers are doing a good job with their fuel management.
One would have assumed.
So back to the lead. Lap finish. 26 litres, still pounding out the laps. Yeah. Trying to keep it as close to that yellow line as possible. Up and down the track a little bit. So bumpy through that section.
They should probably stick to that yellow line between the exit, the final banking, and the pit line.
Just can save a good 20-30 metres.
Yeah, it saves fuel and shortens the lap, so you can actually get faster lap times as well.
Just bring up the map and see if there's... Right, so we have a little bit of a battle in... Oh, wait, actually, we'll see how Loft that map away again. We'll go cockpit. Oh, and you can see straight away. A bit of a squeeze there from Harrow.
Did well. Didn't hesitate. So a gap and went.
You just never know, do you, Sado? When you're coming up to a GTE car, you're not sure if they've seen you or not. It sort of hearts in your mouth as you make one of those moves.
Yeah, a couple of times you can when you go past the GTEs a few times, you can sort of learn the driving styles of each of the GT drivers. You can adjust your lines accordingly.
Yeah, you do, and that's one of the good things of running these series consistently is you learn drivers, you know their characteristics, their temperaments, You can read their body language. What a great drive this is. He wrote himself off last night in general conversation. He said, no, it's between the top two. And I said, no, Darky, no, you're going to be on the lead lap and there's a long way to go.
Yeah. And Darky, the lead up to this race, was the fastest driver going around until Lockie set that blistering time in Thursday practice this week.
The one practice session I went to, Darky sat in the pits for most of the race, most of the session, and he still managed to pump out a 134.6.
Yeah.
And I knew he had pace up his sleeve. I knew he was going to be fast. So Lloyd, as you can see, Darky's going into the international horseshoe. Lloyd's coming out of turn 1. So that's a good 20 seconds back.
Yeah, I think Lloyd had a mistake a few laps ago.
Lloyd?
I saw it in the time.
Go back and... Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm going to have a quick look at the fuel. Okay, very even between Lloyd and Loft. And exactly the same between Loft and Darky.
Very similar.
Aussie Carter, I think, has just passed...
It's the same.
Nürburgring.
That
I could watch that all day. I could the way these cars negotiate that bus stop chicane.
Actually,
I could watch that all day.
Nürburgring's burning a lot of fuel, and
well, maybe he didn't even put any fuel in.
Maybe he didn't.
Because that would no. Well, if he started with a full tank, he's on exactly the same as all the other. Well, it looks like he's having some handling trouble though. There negotiates turn 1. Always a tricky corner. And it's pretty smooth through there.
Yeah, I know he came to the pit, so if he put fuel in...
Yeah, obviously he's just taken the damage repair. Did not put fuel in, that's going to cost him.
Doesn't give you that flexibility anymore.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed, he'd be kicking himself with that. He'll realise that was an opportunity missed. New man, very new man, him and Magic Hen. This is the first events I've seen them racing in. It's good to see new blood coming into ANZCRL. It's a great breeding ground for sim racing. This I believe is the best console league racing in Australia. That I know of anyway. I'm not sure what there is on PlayStation or anything else, but Project Cars 2 I think is the best title. And for sim racing, maybe there's people that would agree with me, like they think that Formula 1 might be, or Assetto Corsa, but really the numbers on Assetto Corsa are just dismal. So I don't know how anyone could argue that title. I couldn't believe how intense it was last night. The driving, I forgot what it could be like. I really enjoyed it. What have we got here? What's Woody seeing? It's got the alert. Who's he coming up on here? Magic Hand! This is for position.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coming up to the bus stop chicane. Let's see how Woody negotiates it. Braking fractionally early.
4th in class.
Nice line through there. Oh, you just hate it when it understeers there. You just want that car to turn right.
Those
otherwise,
GTs.
you know. Lockie's taking a penalty.
Yeah. Those GTs carry a lot of speed through that bus stop as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed the speed of the GTEs every year on year. They're gaining like a second a lap. The tunes, the quality of driving in these cars is getting better and better every year. These operators are really working these cars out. You see Woody working away at Magic Hand. Magic Hand, new man to Project Cars 2, and ANZ, he's run a little bit wide there. He's missed the apex. Much ground there. Now Woody can hear there's a LMP coming up on him. Is it Lockie or is it Carter's? Is he Carter's 32?
Haven't been able to see the numbers on it.
Let's see how he does it here. Well, he's going to get it easy now, the LMP, because this is where they shine, up on the banking. He should be able to, yeah, Woody's open up the gate, so come on through. Let's have a quick look. No, it wasn't Carter's, it was Lockie. So Lockie now has to negotiate. Oh, and that's a tricky place to come across a GTE. Probably had to lift, you get a little bit of aero wash, your eyes are distracted from your line, you can't pick up your apexes, he's going to go high, he's going to take it wide. That's not a massive gap through there, very easy to rub the wall. He's managed to get it through, and Darky's dropped a good 6 seconds off a loft vanish here. He's done a 143 on the last lap, the looks of it.
Drivers are very fatigued at the moment.
Yeah, starting kicking in the concentration. You'd be surprised how hard it is to drive for 2 hours straight at an intense level. Mistakes will happen. It's just how quickly you can gather them up, or how bad they are. Like, you really just don't want to damage the car. I was going to have a look at Lockie's penalty, which is
4 seconds.
4 seconds. Wow, he's clocked up 2 there, I'd say.
Yeah.
So Darky looks like he's down to 11 litres. Pit stop coming along very soon.
Sitting on the pits.
He's in the pits. This will be interesting. Just that fuel gauge going up. He needs every drop to go on board here. 53.2 again.
Okay.
Talk me through that, Sado. That's I was talking him up on strategy earlier, but I think I might have to bite my words, because I think that is a misjudgment there. That's a miscalculation. He's now going to have to make... Do you think he can make it through with one more stop? Oh, very loose on the gold tyres running out the pits. Gathered it up. That was a big gather. Could have easily looped that one.
24 seconds behind Freight at the moment.
Oh, there's contact.
Oh, Lockie.
That was contact.
Very aggressive from Lockie.
Simo's just come out of the pits and gathering it up. Just had a moment. So his car was edgy as it was, and Lockie has come through. Yeah, that was Lockie, and not really read the situation. And perhaps that might be a little bit of aero damage.
Side to side contact.
It was only a tiny lot was needed in this situation. So loft vanish, maybe 1.5, 2 laps away from a pit stop.
Yeah, we'll see what the
leader of the race
fuel gauge is when he crosses the line, but I'll assume it's going to be 2 laps.
2 more laps.
He'll be on few. Oh no, he's only gone to the bus stop. That's going to be tight.
Gonna be. But we're at that critical. Well, it's 39 minutes. 39 minutes into this session. Just clicked over 39, so he's definitely going to make the 40 minutes, which is the absolute key. So that's the main thing.
I think he's going to
manage to save 0.3, which if he was to stay out another lap, it would be pretty brave if he was going to stay out another lap longer than loft vanish.
The fuel's very similar.
Very similar. They've been both driving hard, and
yeah, I probably wouldn't be game enough to...
Yeah, I don't think fuel strategy is going to come into it.
That was a bit of Par's bumper there on the inside of turn 1.
Okay. Have a look, see if it's still there. as we watched Lloyd come through, and he's managed to save a little bit of fuel compared. Oh, look at that! Though it's just gone from 6.3 to 6. They're just guzzling down the fuel on these wide open bankings.
Well, I reckon Lloyd will be able to
It's like
do.
the marshal might have picked up that bit of debris on the track.
Yeah, well, Darky pushed it off the track, so.
Ah, right. Darky doing the street sweeping.
Yeah. I reckon Lloyd will be
Get
able to
paid
go
extra
one
for that.
lap longer than Darky and Vanish.
Night Pegasus. Oh, on the cones again. Oh, really on the cones. Getting a bit greedy there. Taking up as much track as he can. Still flying through the air.
Oh, what the hell is happening?
Oh, he's getting
Par
up
into the
and
pits.
up and make it there. Let's have a look at Par. Par's gone on the pits.
I reckon he has crashed into turn.
Pretty good. You've noticed, what was it? A green bit of green or black.
It was a bumper. I reckon it was a bit of his
Loft's
rear
in
bumper.
pits as well. Loft's bringing it in.
Yep. I expected as much. Wouldn't have been game to go an
Hopefully,
extra lap. I reckon
he
Darky
hasn't got
will
any.
follow.
Hasn't got a penalty, so he's brought it in under the pit
Yep.
speed limit.
Darky in as well. It's going to be the battle of the pit crews. Who's going to change
Darky's in as
tyres?
well. I'm pretty sure Loft's changing tyres. We learnt from Alice, and there's Parg heading out the pit lane. Nürburger in the pits as well. It's all happening.
Yep. It's the critical lap.
Expect Loft Vanish to move off first. Lloyd's now taking the lead.
Yep. That's what I was expecting.
He's
Saved a bit more
managed to
fuel than
save
these
that.
guys.
Yeah.
Pegasus in.
Night Pegasus in the pits. Here he is.
He could have got another lap.
Put it.
At
He
3.1.
could have. Off. Dark is still sitting. And he's gone. I think he's made up a little bit of time there.
Yeah. Lock into second.
Lockie's up a second.
Of course, he's still
Turn
owes
exit
he'll
turn
owe us
one.
2 more pit stops.
And how far is Loft Vanish behind Lockie? Wow, this will make things interesting for the next few laps.
Yeah.
How will the boys play this? Will they get a bit racy on track?
Pentek.
He has to make a stop this lap. 1.6. 1.6. We'll stay with him. 1.4.
He'll be good.
Got a little bit of traffic. Par. Oh, a little bit edgy through the first section. Probably had to go a little bit slower on the exit. And now he's got to go around the Ford.
He's got to go around the Ford and then duck back down to the inside to come to the pits.
Yeah, it's going to make it a little bit awkward.
Ah, it's alright.
No, yeah, plenty of gap there.
These
Negotiate
prototypes
this.
are very quick in a straight line.
He's got to pull it up, pull it up, pull it up.
He did.
Perfect. 59
Almost
on
perfect,
the dot.
yeah.
Half a litre of fuel. Now does he stop on the spots?
Done well.
Stop on the spots.
And this will give Lloyd a bit more flexibility in his race strategy for
Perfect.
the rest of the session.
Perfect by Lloyd. And here comes Lockie.
Yep.
Lockie's going to take back a lead.
Take
Take back that lead.
Yep.
There he goes into the lead.
He'll be
Loft
pitting in
Vanish the
5
second.
laps though. Expecting him in at the end of lap 32.
And Darky's probably a little bit further back than what I thought he would be.
Was he about 10 seconds behind Vanish? 12 to 10
Yeah,
12
you're mistaken.
And I think that was just the pit lane transit
Yeah, I
times.
think he might have been a little bit earlier on it.
Yeah.
Oh, and look what we've got here. Lloyd's going to come out alongside. Is it Aussie Carter's? It
Carter's
is.
got him, but Carter's has to make an extra pit stop as well.
Cramping up after that tense pit stop. This is going to be a fascinating next half an hour at least. Maybe even until the next pit stops. We've got some nice little battles here on track. We've got Magic Hen in the pits.
Yep.
Keep
Very
an eye on
early.
that fuel gauge.
Must have wonder if he's
Yeah.
had a bit of an incident.
There's a lot of incidents going on out here.
Yeah, It's really tough. The sun's starting to rise. It's a nice red glow.
It is. Look at that sunrise. Distracting.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see as well, because you know the hours, the minutes are ticking by. The end of the session is getting closer, but we're not even halfway through this session.
Go when Simo catches up to him. Simo's on a
how hard he
completely
fights
different
it.
strategy.
Yeah, but
Hopefully-
RSJ doesn't know that.
Well, hopefully he might have picked up on Simo coming into the pits earlier than normal. There's
This is
one of
who
the
we
crash
got in the
prone
background there?
prototypes behind
That's
him.
yeah. Oh!
Carter's.
Oh, that was just...
Oh,
there
the
is contact. Very aggressive by the LMP car there. He's got it.
Simo pulled off line and then I don't think he realised how much the LMP2 cars struggle in these slow hairpins.
I don't think that was Lockie. That was Aussie car.
No, that was Carter's.
Was tyre smoke there?
I knew it was Carter's because I could see Lloyd just in the background as well.
Ah, okay. I saw the yellow car and I thought it might have been Loft Vanish. So I obviously couldn't recognise my own car.
Well, you've always spent time inside the car, not looking outside of it.
That's right.
Here we go. Simo's straight lining. That's alright. He'll serve slow down.
Yeah, no damage done. No damage done.
Better doing that than trying to commit to the chicane going too fast, spinning out and hitting the wall.
Yeah.
That tyre wall on the left hand side at that bus stop is not very far from the track. If you lose it there,
catches a few out.
we saw it in the real life Daytona 24 hour. My car's just spun out there and just straight into the wall and your race is pretty much over.
They're back with Lloyd. Only a couple of seconds behind Carter's. There he is. You can just see Carter's disappearing behind the pit wall, and they're up at the hairpin. Fog, sort of, a bit of mist coming off the grass. The sun comes up and warms the wet grass up. The dew from the overnight sort of rising, changing the track conditions all the time. That might be why, as you can see, Lloyd's had a big slide there.
Yeah.
The track might just be losing a little bit of grip. Testing these drivers. He's run wide there as well a little bit. Yep, the car's not really behaving as he would like. And we'll have a look to 6th place. Night Pegasus. Not far behind Lloyd as well. That's really turning into a fascinating race here.
Yeah. Similar lap times between Pegasus and Lloyd.
And of course, got Woody. How's he going with that fuel management? You can see that mist. That mist in the air.
Love the weather physics on
it's
Project
fantastic.
Cars.
Yeah.
There's no game that does it better.
I don't think so. They've got the rain, they've got hail, it's not hail, but snow. The blizzard conditions that you can experience in this game. Incorporate in this game, it's just other things that sort of hold it back.
That's why I'm looking forward to Automobilista 2.0 with the using this same engine as Project Cars 2.
It will be good. It's something I look forward to. And here we go, Freight Trainer. Freight Trainer chugging along. Now, did anyone see what the gap was between the fuel? Freight, 17.9. Look at the master. Look at the fuel master.
He's
nearly got a lap there. And we're down to 1 hour and 9 minutes. Woody is definitely going to make the hour. Freight, it will be pretty close as well. And the RSJ, so that's Freight there. Coming out of the final turn. Coming past the pit entry. And RSJ Coming into the bus stop chicane. Oh, look at that behind there. A little bit of action.
Pegasus diving down inside a simmer. Oh,
Ooh.
he's had a spin.
It didn't come off.
Ah.
We just caught the end of that. We saw that in the background there. A little bit of action. Two cars going side by side.
Did Simmer get caught up in that?
Let's have a quick look.
No.
He is not.
Able to escape that.
Like Pegasus had a lone spin.
Sun's starting to creep onto the track now.
And the track will be warming up. We're expecting a nice clear day. We'll change things. People will be looking to make alterations in their pit stops, just fine-tuning the setup for their car.
Expecting the GTEs to make the pit stops very shortly. In the next 10 minutes or so.
And there's RSJ's got 13.4.
RSJ in probably 6 laps time, I would imagine.
And the cockpit view.
Oh, Lockie's in the pits.
Lockie back into the pits. Just fuel by the looks of it.
Let's see.
Tyres will be interesting actually to see if he takes tyres.
Oh, you
I
take the pain.
Wouldn't have guessed him to take him in the first stop. They're out with the tyres.
His first pit stop
They do the
was
tyres after the fuel, don't they?
damage affected, so I would have doubted he'd change tyres on the first stop. I reckon the tyre stop will be now.
See how far he drops down. Aussie Cars has passed him. There goes Lloyd.
Yeah, there goes Lloyd. I reckon about 50 to 60 seconds the gap should be. And that would mean that he has taken tyres.
Whoa.
He's off.
Did you think that was tyres? I don't think that was tyres.
It's a bit quick. See where Pegasus, if Pegasus can get past. There he goes, Pegasus goes past.
Pegasus,
so like he did change tyres then.
Tricky. Oh, even the real guys in real life managed to hit that pit wall. I noticed last month.
Yeah, that's why they've extended the pit lane nowadays so that they actually have to hold the speed limit around that corner just to try and avoid people hitting that wall.
Look what Night Pegasus has here on his hands.
Well, he's got to pass GTs? 2 GT cars and hold off Lockie, who's going to be charging behind him. Only 2 seconds of gap between Pegasus and Lockie.
Really, yeah, easy through. Easy past, was that Simo?
Yeah, you want to get past RSJ.
RSJ. It's going to take RSJ around the outside. Yep. See the bumps on the track just make it hard. There he goes. I love that corner.
Yeah.
Now Simo's right in the draft of RSJ.
Look at the monitor. Those white headlights are Lockie coming.
Can't hear him yet. Thought he might have been moving up the banking end to let Lockie through, but here he is.
Oh,
here comes Lockie. Oh, he's going to do it.
Okay, Lockie. Thought it might have got a bit awkward there, but RSJ did the right thing.
Still not over yet though. It's still not over. Simo's going to have a look here into the hairpin.
Okay. RSJ's not fighting. It's too early to fight.
Good driving there by RSJ and Simo and everyone. Lockie involved as well. That would have been a bit of sweaty palms, bit of blood rushing to the head there. A lot of concentration after an hour of driving on the limit, intense.
Yeah, Lockie's caught up to the
Easy
back
to make a mistake.
Pegasus now. Be in that slipstream. Lockie will be looking to make a move into turn 1. Turn
1, I agree. Watch the dirty air
Carter's into the pits as well, but we'll stay on this.
Just have a quick flick, see if it's fuel. It looks like fuel.
Yeah, it's just... Pegasus has picked the high line.
Oh,
Interesting
is he
choice.
gonna fight it? He's
And
not fighting it.
locking to 4th place.
Not the drive he would have been hoping for or expecting. But he steadied after a rocky start. Rocky with a rocky start. Now these Porsches. 9.3. Getting close.
3 laps left in
And
that
we've got-
tank, I imagine.
And 3 minutes left
Just
in the
gonna-
hour. So Woody's definitely going to make it. And so is Freight Trainer. Freight Trainer's managed it.
More on the limit though. Coming into the bus stop, he's only got 2 laps left on the tank at most.
Got Lloyd coming up to the back of Freight.
Yeah. Passing him quite easily. Freight Trainer's done well. Just held that inside line.
Look at Lockie. Ah, look at Lloyd just stretching the legs.
Yeah.
Pulling off as well.
I think he will. Easy.
On the outside. Or Par. You can see what Par's got to deal with. It's not going to be easy with a lot of sunlight coming up over the horizon. A cracked windshield. Not what you want to be driving with in an endurance race.
Yeah, it's... I think the corner's just a bit difficult at the moment. Let's see some guys turn off their headlights.
Looking a little bit second-hand there.
Pass out a few instances this race, or this session rather.
We've got Freight. Freight's actually coming up on Par.
Yeah, they'll be putting a lap on Par.
But he's got a pit very soon, so Par will get that lap back. He's just got to pound out the laps, ride that final out. Anything can happen. Oh,
Be what? Freight.
Dirty air. Had to lift a little bit more. Lost the run onto the important banking. It's where you make up so much time.
Can you do one more lap, Freight?
I think I've got the feeling he's going to. He's going to stay out.
Yeah, he is.
His body language tells me that he's not heading towards that pit lane. Pulls it up for turn 1. Very smooth.
Reading.
Not overexerting himself.
80 degrees
Driving it.
engine temperature.
That's very cool. He's
Yeah.
probably left a little bit on the table there. In the way of... Oh,
there goes
no,
Par.
Up on the curbing on the outside of the hairpin. No damage done. Just a little bit of lost time.
Straight
stays
into
in
the
pit.
pits.
2 litres
Just made that 1 hour.
straight in the box. Pulled it up on the spots. Woody's in the pits. Woody's gone early. He could have gone another lap, but 59.45. He's going to probably... He could have... I think he should have stayed out another lap.
We still had 4.4 left though, so...
Yeah, he should have stayed out. If Freight's managed to do it...
Yeah, but I
1.7
still
at the
reckon
bus
Woody's
stop.
going to be able to make it to the end.
Oh, he's definitely going to make it to the end. He's just now... Well, if he had to fuel conserve in this first hour, he might now have to fuel conserve a little bit more than what he needed to in his second hour. Whereas if he had stayed out another lap, he probably could have gone 10 tenths for the rest of the race, for the rest of the session.
SJ?
Yeah.
Woody's only taken on fuel, and I reckon RSJ's taken tyres.
Yeah, right.
Look at that.
So RSJ.
Look how
just in
close the
front of
gap
Woody.
is.
Yeah. Freight's in.
Yep.
0.9 he got it down to.
Right on that edge.
0.9 of a litre.
So I'm expecting Simo to assume the
Have a look
race
at
lead.
Simo.
Yep, there he goes. He's
Simo's
at
only got
94
20
degrees.
litres. Everyone's running a bit cooler.
Yeah.
Maybe the sun hasn't warmed the ambient temperature up yet. Might still be very low temperatures in the air. Oh, I'm sticking. RSJ still quite a way back.
Yeah.
RSJ and Woody. Race rolling. Rates off and rolling. See if he negotiates the exit. Such a skinny little pit lane.
Yeah.
Not much more than a car width. Obviously, with the banking, didn't have enough money to spend any more on tarmac for the pit lane exit.
There's Lloyd going through turn 1. Will Lloyd dive it down the inside? Yes, he will.
It's nervous times when you see that on that camera angle.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to drive straight into the back. So, let's have a look. Let's start the GTEs again. We've got Simo, now out, heading towards the back straight. No,
Gotta wait
that's
for the
towards
times
the
to
pit lane.
balance out, I think.
So,
That's
Simo
alright,
is
is
now about to cross the...
Simo with the 1 minute lead?
It appears so. So Simo's
Jeez.
going into turn 1.
Maybe the
And
short.
Freight stopped though, Simo, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
He's gone 53 on the old fueling, so
It'd be.
the strategy might be going to work.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting. We'll be paying close attention to those gaps in that last stop. So Freight's got to push now. He's got to push. Get this Ford
Darky's found
GT in
some
contact.
speed. Close to
Woody's
4
on the
seconds
back.
behind Vanish.
Woody's on
It
the back
is.
of RSJ in the battle for third position in GTE.
Woody's going. Coming into the bus stop.
RSJ's a little bit defensive going in there. Said, no, Woody, not yet. I think I've still got the speed to hold you off.
Woody's got the slipstream.
Yeah. This battle. Watch the speed. Which way is he going to go?
Look at this.
High, low. Going to go low. RSJ's opened the door. Said, have a look down there. See if you can pull that one off. Side by side. RSJ
Jeez.
said, no, I'll give it to you. Pull
That's
him behind.
slipstream. 10 kph difference between the two cars.
Woody's going to find it hard to pull it up, but he manages to.
Pass had a crash. He's back in the pits.
In the pits. He's not finding this car an easy ride. Not at all. Off Vanish. Leader of the LMP, the outright leader.
Yeah, he's starting to come under pressure.
Into the second half of this session.
Carter's behind
That
him.
white and blue car behind him.
Fozzie Carter's,
Second.
and then Darky's
Oh,
not far
yeah, that
behind.
was Carter. Okay, so we've got a lapped car between two leaders of the LMP. So we ride with Dark Racing 40. That white car in front is Aussie Carter's, who is in 6th position in the LMP battle. 6th position outright. The yellow car just in front of Carter's is the race leader. 4 seconds. And that might have been why lost a bit of time. Probably getting past Aussie Carter would have cost him at least 2 seconds, 3 seconds, I would have thought. It's just where you get him on the track. It really does matter. If you don't get an easy pass happening, it can really upset your rhythm. So it's a battle. It's a good battle here for the lead of the LMP. It's a good battle for third position. Although it's 5 seconds now. I thought it was 3 seconds, but Lockie's dropped off the back of Lloyd a little bit. So Lloyd, third position, racing with Dado Race. I don't know. I guess there's still a bit of flexibility in who's going to be doing the last sessions of this Daytona 24-hour.
I'm pretty sure Dado will be doing the final session.
What's going on here?
Simo into the pits.
Simo's in the pits. 13.
It's the final pit
13
stop.
litres.
It's going to put a lot of... Well, I guess he's
fill it up.
Top it up.
Fill it up. Fill it up. Tyres, perhaps. And he's going to drive it hard home. He's going to bring this home now. Let's have a quick look where Freight is. Okay. Harry's back in the pits as well. Things aren't going well. He that leads the GTE, but that lead.
Freight's going to take the lead.
Is going to be lost. Here comes Freight. Across the start, finish and into turn 1. Simo's rolling. Freight's exiting turn 1. Simo's still on pit lane.
Still there.
Freight's driving no hands, doing well. Simo's banging it out of the pit lane.
Comes in second place.
80 litres. Is that a full tank, Sato? 80 litres?
Nah, it's a bit less than
cold tyres.
Full tank.
Will he make it? Will he make 51 minutes on 80 litres?
I believe he would have done the calculations, so I believe he will be able to make it. Is he only 5 seconds back or something? No, 15 seconds it was.
So we have Freight in the lead of the G. See how he negotiates it. Now he knows he has the race lead. Will he take a different driving style now? He knows what he's got left in front of him for the rest of this 50 minutes.
Dark Racing absolutely flying at the moment.
Oh, Simo's done it again.
Second time he's done it.
There was a little bit of traffic involved there. I think it might have been Loft Vanish. Loft Vanish has dived up the inside. Under intense pressure now from Dark Racing. Yep, I saw a flash of yellow. And Simo's just wisely decided, I'm not going to turn in there. I'm not going to turn into disaster. But Loft Vanish, no, because he's under pressure. Dark Racing has brought it back. He's risen like a phoenix from the ashes of Gear 3's session last night.
Yeah, well, this is going to be where...
He's a very experienced man.
Been racing since...
He's been at this game for a long time.
Yeah, he's been racing with ANZCRL since its inception.
So Nürburgring has just taken the position off of Aussie Carter.
Yeah.
Nürburgring in one of his first races, or the first race that I know of.
Yeah.
I believe he was racing with the Poms. That's where I got the info. He's been racing with TRC, the European mob. And he's been told, well, there's an Australian group that do it just as well as what we do. Especially the special events.
Yeah.
And what a season, Sato. I'm very excited about it. I'm going to try and make as many as possible. Two-and-a-half second lead, Loft Vanish over Dark Racing.
Going to be a couple.
These guys are working hard.
Going to be a couple of battles for the podium places for this race. Battle for first and battle for third.
It's warming up. It's warming up. Arky is in a rhythm. He wouldn't have expected after Gear 3's unfortunate session last night. He was involved in some, 50-50 incidents that could have gone either way. He was just unlucky. Probably driving a little bit ambitiously for a 24-hour race. You know what I mean? You got to be a bit conservative. Look at the understeer there, a bit of push in the front of the car.
Well,
you have to be a little bit conservative in a 24-hour race. Every opportunity.
Gaming has sent apologies out to the guys he affected yesterday.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. He's a true racer here.
Yeah.
His heart's in the right place, and he's passionate about the sport. He's absolutely one of the most passionate drivers I know out there. And maybe that's what happens when he gets behind the wheel. The emotions, the thrill of driving a car fast just get to him. And he's a young man, so I'm sure over the years that will temper down. As the Carter's in the pit.
Yep.
Full tank. But that's not going to be enough to get him home.
They're going to have to make another pit stop. Been a tough session for these guys. They started the race very strongly. But these 2-hour sessions have caught them out.
In 4th position at the start of this session. Not far. Oh, here we go. This is going to be good.
This is good. The first session.
This is good. Your teammate, Sato.
Yeah.
Moving up on the back of Lloyd again.
Yeah, he hasn't lost any time, which is crucial.
Have to make one more pit stop though.
Off Vanish, that's the first time I've seen him in the 35, so he's starting to match Darky.
Really, that time has dropped down to under 2-second leads now. Lucky, he's lifted there, maybe still got to slow down.
Yeah, it could be. Both these drivers battling for third have got penalties.
Yeah, I'll just check the penalties. I'll check those penalties again. This is a battle. What you see is pretty much what you get.
Lockie has the upper hand in this battle because he's got more fuel on board than Lloyd.
Ooh, he's nearly over-rotated that again on Power X, is it? It's obviously a fast car, but it's a little bit on the edge there, Sato.
Yeah,
it's a fast car, but you have to be.
Might be a
not an easy car
setting.
to drive. Traction control, you reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
He needs to.
I need to increase it a little bit, just to help with that wheel spin in the slow corners.
Yeah. You do have tools in these cars. There is traction control.
Yeah. Oh, there goes Lloyd.
Oh, Lloyd. What's happened?
He's just gifted 3rd place to Lockie. But he would have lost 3rd. He would have lost 3rd to Lockie anyway.
Talking
just
of
through
traction control.
Lockie having a...
Talking of traction control. Sorry, Sato.
That's an easy corner to lose it though. So.
Yeah.
I've seen many drivers in my day just.
It's super bumpy.
There. Once you hit that little hub that's sort of on that exit, you don't see it.
And you can get wheel spin going up onto the banking as well.
Yeah.
And it can rotate the car. So there's some guys out there with cars that really aren't playing the way they'd like to. They're playing a little bit nasty. Back to Darky, 2nd place. There's Lost Spanish leading the race in front. The yellow car.
Settled. I wonder what the fuel comparison is between these two. It's on a fuel left, it'll be well placed.
Darky's got a little. He's going to make up ground in the pit stop.
Yeah.
Darky's definitely. I know Loft has got the technology with him, so he knows what he needs to take on board. He can cut it very fine.
Oh, it's got very wide onto that pit straight. Look at that speed that Darky got to 314.
That is fast in a straight line.
Yeah.
He's got the aero set up perfectly. He's I don't think there's a scrap of air getting underneath that car and disturbing the slipstream of this Ligier. Alright, we'll go back to the GTEs and see what's going on. Brake trainer.
11 seconds ahead of
turn 3.
Simo's closing in. Slowly but surely.
The freight trainer would realise that. He's thinking, how much harder can I push safely?
Still got a bit of margin, so you can just fuel save, I think, for a little bit. Make sure that you can definitely make it to the end, and then just drive flat out for the rest of the session.
Yeah, you got to know, don't you? That's the experience. If you know a car and you've done at most points of the race, you say, oh yep, I'm on target, I'm on target, I'm on target. Oh no, I got a fuel save. I'm on target again. It's a lot easier than flying blind and constantly playing around with that fuel gauge to see if you've got enough laps to get there to the end.
Just in a holding pattern at the moment.
Both, well, Simo's was 8. Is that right? No, rate must have just... Okay, 44.2 and a 44.1, so there's nothing between these two.
No.
And RSJ's faster, 44.0. But I'm going to go back and check the fuel compared to RSJ and Simo. Very similar. So Simo knew what he was doing. We shouldn't have doubted him. He's really gained a lot of experience. He's been with it for now, what, 2 years, do you reckon, Simo?
Yeah, about 1 to 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, so you can see the experience that he's got in those 2 years, that he's really playing this endurance race strategy well.
Yeah, Simo's actually put off a pretty good strategy where...
Oh, and look at the time Freight lost on that last lap, a 148 to a 143, so 5 seconds gained on that last lap alone by Simo.
Good drive from Simo, flat out the entire way.
Well, he's rolling off a GT86, Toyota 86 championship from late last year, Simo, and he's in red hot form. He'd be one of the form drivers. Lof Vanish has picked up a penalty.
Yep, which is going to be crucial because Darkies have closed in to 1.5 seconds.
Yep. 1 second penalty on Lof Vanish. None of the others have changed by the looks of it. Darkie's increasing the pressure. Oh, and he's pushing hard. You can just read that body language.
Oh no, Darkie's lost it.
Oh, and this is...
Yeah.
It couldn't be Lockie. Oh, just as he'd done all that hard work, Darkie's gone and made a mess of it.
Just seen Pegasus pull into the pit lane. That's going to be borderline for him. To whether he's going to make it or not.
There he is. 39.50. Yeah, I think he's got it there. Zato. I think he'll be able to manage it. And I'm maybe he's had to do 1 lap less as well. He might be a lap down.
Might be now.
Confirm that, but
in fact he is.
He would be now. But it might even out again once the other guys pit.
Because we know Carter's is 1 lap down. He's pretty close to the leaders.
Carter's coming through the bus stop. Well, you know Carter's is right behind Darkie on track.
Yeah.
So that's the gap. It's a lap. Pretty much spot on a lap. Here's Pegasus. Blasting out of the pit. This will be Lof Vanish. Into turn 1.
3.5 seconds after that spin from Darkie.
Yep.
Just start
okay, so Mike Pegasus hasn't quite managed to... Oh, he's going to come out right with Aussie Carter's 32.
Yep.
Carter's...
Oh, Carter's.
Oh, no!
They're going to get side by side.
This
Battle for sheep stations for 6th place. Oh, you can't go side by side there.
Can get nasty here.
They have. Oh.
They managed to get through that without too much incident.
Flat out if he's going to make it to the end of it. Well, he's got to make another pit stop. Burger in.
Valuable experience, valuable learning experience here for Nürburgring. Nürburgring.
Yep.
He's learned a lot about endurance racing this weekend. I don't know how his body will feel after having been in the rig for 6 hours and maybe some test laps in between as well. I know the cooler nature got to him last night.
Yeah, you lost
Lost
3
vanish.
minutes.
He's staying out for another lap. Cutting it fine. He should be able to do it, but he's cutting it fine. And he's got a little GTE car between him and Darky, so that's good as well.
He's got a prototype right in front of him though.
51.
Get a bit of aero wash from Nürburgring.
Darky's going to have to get past Paro here. He's probably timed it well. He's had to lift a little bit there, just a little bit of uncertainty. There's a car, yeah, there is a car between Loth Vanish and is that Nürburgring? I'm not sure if it is. Looks like it might be. Yeah, it would be. Okay. Oh,
did he hit the wall?
I believe he did. He might have been distracted a little bit coming up here. He might have been adjusting things on the fly. That last opportunity to get his fuel metering exactly perfect, and he might have taken the eyes off the track for a second, and that bumpy bit of track, he's come up and scraped the wall. Hopefully no damage done, for my sake anyway.
Yeah.
Darky's is he staying out? Darky's staying out?
No, he's not. Must be Nürburgring that we saw going past.
Yeah, it would have been. Yep, in the red car. Very similar looking, but not exactly the same. So he's judged this very fine, but it means he's not going to have to put the full tank in. 0.6 of a litre. Darky's already filling up.
Yep. Got an early
We're going
pit
to see the lead change again here.
Will be soon. Lockie will briefly take the lead before he makes his final pit stop.
How much fuel is Loth Vanish going to... I know this guy's very smart with the strategy. He knows he's all over it. For only a newcomer, he's been at it for what, maybe...
Darky's taking too much fuel, I reckon. Oh, Loth Vanish has taken a lot of fuel.
Loth Vanish has filled it all the way up.
That's way too much fuel.
Valuable second lost.
Yeah, that's about... I want to say that's about 15 litres too much fuel that Loth Vanish has put in the car.
Right, yeah. Well, my fuel gauge was telling me fibs last night because I had to put it into lean to make sure that I got to that. Even though I knew it was 40 minutes, my fuel gauge was telling me I wasn't going to make it. So maybe Loth Vanish has had a similar experience as to what I had last night.
You see the red on that race strategy screen can make you second guess yourself.
It puts it definitely sows a seed of doubt in your mind, and you're thinking, oh, Darky's just managed to pull that up. And you do, you think, well, is it worth taking the risk? Because the last thing you want to do is have to come in for a splash and dash at the end. You really don't want to do that.
Lockie actually wasn't able to pass those guys. Oh no, Pegasus is around. He's hit the wall.
That is massive in the context of this session. That is really going to cost him big time.
Cost him 6 plays.
And he still hasn't managed to gather it up completely. He was in a battle with Aussie Carter there coming into turn 1. How bad's the car? Let's have a look inside. How's that steering looking?
That shit looks fine.
Does he have to lift? He might have got away with it. Just been a little bit of aero. But it's going to cost him on that banking. And it's obvious that his car's still not playing the way he'd like it to. Okay. Back to the GTEs for a moment.
Yep.
Great trainer leading. Coming out of turn 1.
Still holding that gap.
Simo across the stripe.
Lloyd in the pits.
Running out of time. 32 seconds.
Going for his final
Fourth place.
pit stop.
4th place, probably 3rd place, 1.4 litres. Just cutting it fine, but doing it well. Let's see how much fuel he puts in. He could make up a little bit of time here if he plays his cards right.
Should only need about just under 60 litres.
Let's see if he's as smart as you, Sato.
So a long time.
Well,
69.
69.
Is he going to go to
still
75?
sitting there. A little bit of damage, maybe getting repaired. A little bit of damage. Lockie's gone up in the
pit stop.
Oh yeah, that's right. I just remember giving Lloyd the 3rd place because I knew that Lockie still has to stop. But now it's going to make things interesting again. Yeah, it's a little bit longer than I was expecting that pit stop to be there for Lloyd. What do we got here? What do we got here in the battle for the lead? It's closing.
Less than a
it's
second
closed right up.
In fact, with
this
penalties.
Is not what I expected.
Darky might be.
Yeah, Darky's in the lead with penalties. Well, virtually there's neck and neck.
Yeah.
No one else has gained any more penalties.
It was brilliant drive from Darky.
What a great session. And he's bringing the car home for the final session as well. So
It's going to be hard to beat.
He'd be almost, he'd be maybe the favourite. Fascinating. That's what 24-hour racing is all about.
Yeah, it's about
Never
buying
out of it.
that ticket to that final session.
That's what it's all
The
about.
field will get compressed again for the final one. So Lockie and Lloyd won't be out of it.
No, definitely not. Pegasus had to roll into the pits.
Yeah. The car would have been too damaged.
That's going to drop him to the back of the LMP class. If he can limit the damage, he could still be on the lead lap. And if you're on the lead lap, Loft's gone in deep there. Loft's gone in very deep.
He's lost the lead.
Has he hit the wall? I don't think he's hit the wall, but gee, he got close. And that's the lead. That's the lead for Dark Racing 40 in Gear 3 Gaming. Gear 3. Chin up, young fella.
Slowly.
Lloyd, why is Lloyd going so slow? Has he just lifted to let the leader through? I believe so.
Could be, but
Very
he's lost a lot of time anyway. Because before his pit stop, he was only a minute behind the leaders.
Yeah, I reckon he repaired some damage there in that pit stop. Magic Hen in the pits. 30 minutes to go. Unexpected pit stop, I would think.
Yeah. So it drifted back as the session, holding it solid in 6th place.
Lock Banish.
Can he respond?
Yeah, it would be interesting to see whether he can stay with Dark Racing. It's probably easier to follow in this situation, especially being as inexperienced in endurance racing as what Loft is. You know, Darky's been and done this many a time.
Jeez, he's held in
Arrow
fifth for a very long time.
Coming out with Magic Hen. They've got a nice little battle going on right through the field. Nice when even when you're battling away at the back of the class field, you've still got something to chase. It's nice.
Wonder how far behind Lockie's going to end up. He's closing to 8 seconds behind these guys. 8 seconds behind Darky.
That was an unexpected off track for me. See Loft Banish go off in turn 1. I guess the pressure really is starting to get to him. I know this car's pretty good through turn 1. I wouldn't have expected to see him do that.
Darky got held by that BMW. That's helped Vanish stick with
Magic
him.
Hen. Magic Hen. Oh, it's like, yeah, it's squeeze through there.
Yeah,
There's
Darky
not a massive
trying to
amount
break
of
that
room.
slipstream to lock Vanish. Look how quick Vanish was coming to the bus stop.
Oh, it wore me out, this car. I couldn't probably drive as hard as what it could have been driven. But I just did not have it left in me. I had a big day in the rig yesterday. I did a couple of V8 races in the morning, and then I hadn't spent much time in this car, and I needed to reacquaint myself. I spent maybe a good hour and 20 minutes before one into turn one. Like Vanish hard on the brakes, pulling it up. Avoid the back of Dark Racing 40's car. This is on. This is on. We've got a good one here. 26 minutes remaining, and this is on. Oh, that lap 57. We've done 170 odd laps of this race, and there is nothing between the leaders. Absolutely nothing. And
Darky's gone off.
He's put two wheels on the grass there. He's managed to gather it up. Very easy slide on the grass, and that tyre barrier on the outside. Wow. Darky, these guys are pushing hard. It's all up for grabs.
Lockie just disconnected.
No.
You're kidding.
That is a disaster. He had trouble. He had trouble getting in earlier today, and it looks like this game has done it again. Project Cars 2. It can be so rewarding, and it can be so. Oh, that's it, isn't it? Yeah. Right, you guys were the favourites, and now it looks like the race over. Side by side. Wiser heads are needed here. If you could get in contact with Lockie Sato, that would be awesome to know what's happened there. Hopefully something can... Oh,
The internet must have just dropped out.
oh no. That's not what you want to see. After so much commitment, so many laps put in. Leading at the halfway point.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things.
That's sim racing.
We don't have
actual,
car mechanical failures, but we do get hardware failures and so.
The sim racing does replicate the randomness of real life racing. So many things can happen. You can have hardware issues. You can have software issues. You can have disconnections into personal life interruptions can even come involved. Let alone the intense racing on the track. That's why do not ever devalue a race win. If you win a race in sim racing, cherish it, because they don't come along very often. We'll have more bad days than good days in sim racing. Look at this. Starkey's in the draft.
Great battle.
This is on. This is on.
Ducky looking.
Can't leave this battle. I want to have a look up and down through the field. I want to look at the GTEs to see what they're doing, but this is captivating. These two are at it. Hammer and tongs, as Murray Walker would say. I'm going to flash. I'm going to go to freight.
Still 12-second gap.
42 litres. He's going to do it.
Yeah.
12 seconds. Simo's maybe ruining a little bit of those incidents. I've seen him a couple of times miss the chicane. Probably not 12 seconds worth, but it all adds up. It could have been another 5-6 seconds closer to freight. That might have been a little bit more pressure to make him crack. At the times, he's still putting in faster times than freight. He dropped back to RSJ. He's not far behind at all, just 14 seconds behind Simo. And all these GTEs are going to be in with a chance in the final session. Don't doubt that. Life Vanish.
Going around Woody.
The bumps, passing around the outside.
Yeah, let's be timing on that last lap, Darky.
He's back in the slipstream though.
Yep. Good way to close back up. 20 minutes to go.
Oh wow, these guys are working hard. Loft, what do you think of this endurance racing? It's good stuff, isn't it? It's good stuff. And as I was saying earlier, we've got more. We've got seven special events in the New Zealand Combined Racing League calendar for 2020. There's a lot more of this to come, so get involved. I can see that next weekend's the start of the Formula Ford Formula Rookie Championship. And that's going to go off with a bang. Looks like we've got almost a full field of 20. Lloyd's in the pits. That's unexpected.
Oh, no. That's unscheduled.
Very unscheduled. He doesn't need the fuel. So why is he in the pits?
Damage.
Pulls it up on the spots. What's going on? No fuel going in, no tyres going on.
It's just
all damage.
He's had contact.
Oh, gee, he wouldn't have been expecting this. Nürburgring into third in his first endurance race. Aussie Carter's up to fourth. Lloyd slipping down through the field. Back to fifth, Lloyd. Dado's going to have some work to do this afternoon. Dado racer. What's going on? Look, there he is. Lights the rears up. Can he stay in front of Night Peckers? It looks like he will.
Aussie Carter's into fourth. Nürburgring into third.
That's what, yeah, Nürburgring. He would be ecstatic with that. He's keeping up this pressure. Loft's answering though. Loft is doing a great job of answering the pressure. Look at this, he's got this little tricky situation again. RSJ gives him plenty of room, but he's a little bit offline as he comes into the horseshoe. He's done well though. Got another car between him, and he's probably looking in his mirror going, "Go on, Darky, I hope you get held up. I hope you get out." And he has been held up a fraction there.
Yeah,
he hasn't managed to pull off the move before the banking. Last pass for GT on the banking.
That's a 1.5, so it
Yeah.
could be the break-in slipstream that Loft Vanish needs.
These little things, they all add up. They all add up. And you're going, where's that opponent getting the traffic? Oh my goodness, he got another car on the straight. That's unbelievable. I've been held up 3 laps in a row through the chicane, and he gets them on the straight every time.
Yeah.
And it can really be demoralising. And this time it's hurt Darky and not Loft. But it'll even out. There's still 18, 19 minutes to go on this race.
This session rather.
Darky will be trying hard to get that lead. Well, he's only 0.3 of a second behind, really. And he'll know. He'll be well aware of that. In fact, I am going to check those timings. It's 2 seconds now to Loft Vanish. Loft Vanish
Darky's
is
got
2
one.
seconds. So Darky's got one. Okay. Very interesting. In the major scheme of things, it's not massive, but people will be hoping, and everyone wants to win the session, of knowing that you've outdriven your opponent for that session. And take that confidence going into that final hour that will be televised on what
It's
channel
going to
are we
be
televising on?
final hour will be televised here on the ANZCRL Combined Racing League Twitch channel at 2 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time.
You've covered it well, Sato.
GMT plus 11.
I'm looking forward to it. I can guarantee I'll be watching.
I'll be driving, so see
feel
where
sorry
I
for
end
you,
up
Sato,
and
really. Yeah,
oh,
it looks
no,
like
see
you're
where
gonna
we
be
end
laps
up
down.
and see what I can make of the session. See if I can
Yeah,
come
well,
not last.
At least you can go. You already got the fastest lap in the race, I'm pretty sure of that.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
pretty
one
much.
thing to hang your hat on.
Yeah. That's alright. Car's good.
So Woody is now 20. And it was it was a very enjoyable session last night. You definitely outdrove me, so you can take that and get.
That's
Right, Woody is working his way back up through the GTE field. He's going to be right with him when it comes to the final hour.
yeah, which I
Magic
think
Hand.
is
Let's
going to
not
be
forget
driven
Magic
by a
Hand.
metal drive again.
Metal Drive is going to bring the Porsche
Yep.
home.
Because Woody Lizard will be broadcasting live on the Twitch channel with Lockie 55s. I think he has been scheduled to commentate. Whether that changes now with if Lockie doesn't feel up to it or something, which I wouldn't blame him. I remember last year when I disconnected from the third session, I was very demoralised by it, and actually was going to drive the final session but cancelled it because I just wasn't in the right frame of mind to drive.
Yeah, that's understandable. It is. I mean, we've all seen those scenes of Daniel Ricciardo walking down the pit lane after another Renault engine blowing and the frustration. And it's very similar to that when you're sitting in your rig and you've put so much time, so much effort into an event and things under no control of your own go awry. It can be, he probably saying, I really thought I was going to have a brilliant race at the Daytona 24-hour. And these is what you live for as a sim racer. These sorts of races are just, it's the bread and butter of racing. It's what you want to win. These are the ones you remember. But as I said, we've got 7 events this season. The next one next month, Daytona 500. We're hitting the Daytona Oval.
66.
Don't worry about the infield.
To the Daytona 500. It'll be a 66 lapper of the Daytona Tri-Oval.
Put it in your calendar. 14th of March.
Yep.
Get that. It's going to be on. It was a great race last year. SSHADZZ, myself, managed to squeak in a win against Lloyd.
Yeah, right at the very end.
Battle right up to the line. You can check out all that action in a replay on ANZCRL YouTube channel. I think it's still on there. I don't even know if it is on
there. The Daytona race is not on the YouTube, but should be.
I know there is a YouTube of it out there somewhere. I think it might be on Gear 3 Gaming's YouTube site.
Might be somewhere.
So there's a lot of sites out there. There's Sato 15. He's got a lot of point of view racing.
Well, I've put all my.
Ooh, Darky. Buy it again. He does take a different line through there, but that's not how he would have liked to have taken it. But
back
still
within
managed
a second.
to make up a bit of time.
Vanish.
Yeah, it has. He had to pass the Porsche, but it's evened out again. He will be just getting the trails of the slipstream there. If he can do this chicane perfectly, he will get a nice run. It's pretty good first apex, pretty good second. Oh, very good third apex, and Loft didn't get a great exit. Loft certainly didn't get a great exit from that chicane. Darky is well and truly in the slipstream and is going to be right on him in the turn 1. In fact, I think Loft's got a slow down. Loft has got a slow down there by the sounds of it.
It looks like, yeah.
Darky has taken the lead. With 12 minutes to go of the Daytona 24-hour of 2020, Dark Racing has retaken the lead. And he's looking, that body language of the car is looking like he's not going to give this back. He's run wide there. Loft has to regather himself. Loft really has to focus again. Refocus. Maybe the tyres are starting to go off. just by the look of the cars, I think they might have stopped for tyres on that first stop, and they're still. Oh, because look at Darky there. He's braked too late and nearly missed the exit of that corner. Yeah, I'd say they've been on these tyres now for what? 40, 70 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're really starting to give up on a set of tyres. And Darky's now got, is that Aussie Carter? It'd have to be Aussie Carters between him and second place. So Darky's really putting the boot into it now. Aussie Carters is the lift. Oh, jeez, he's come down quick then, though. That was a little bit too close. So Darky. Who would have thought it?
Yeah.
Who would have thought it? Certainly not me.
It's been a stellar drive. I hadn't written him off, but I did not think he would be leading the Daytona 24-hour at the end of session 3. Of course, still an hour to go. Anything can happen. A lot of laps still to be done. And these two will be starting pretty much nose to tail after the restart, after the safety car for the final hour. Nürburger 79. What a ripper drive.
Doing it all on his own.
Yeah, on his own.
He's going to be feeling it. He's going to be feeling it.
He will be, but his first event for our group, and he's... That wasn't going to be wide, but...
It was a little wide. Actually, I will check those timings again. Dark Racing, Loft vanished 3 seconds. So he's gathered another second penalty. Lloyd's up to 6. So Aussie Carter's in 4th. Started in 4th in this session, still 4th. But a lot of things have happened in the meantime. And Lloyd 5th. These guys are all going to be on the lead lap, so anything can happen. You wouldn't wish it, but if, say, Darky and Loft Vanish had a little bit of an incident at some point in time, if they get a little bit racy, any of these guys are still into the chance. That's the way you got to be thinking when you come into these events. You're never out of it. Just keep pounding away. Oh, lordy, that car is loose. Night Pegasus is racing with Jetto 13.
Yep. It was gone well till a few incidents in the last hour of sent him to the back.
Oh, is that Simo? It is Simo. He might have got away with that without too much. He's definitely lost time. Simo in the wall, what looked like in turn 1. He's had to push hard. It's been his strategy the whole time. He's going to make 3 pit stops, wasn't it?
Yeah.
3 pit stops to the Porsche's 1 pit stop. So he's had it. He's started this race sort of 1 step behind, knowing that he'd have to. That was the strategy he was going to bring into it. So he had to push hard, and pushing hard sometimes has the consequences of pushing yourself into the wall. We've seen a few little incidents in this session.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see who's going to bring that Ford GT home, whether it's he or Highlander. Both have been really quick.
Yeah.
But of course, we know they're going to be up against it in this final session.
Was he only 15 seconds behind Freight Trainer, and we'll get compressed.
They're going to have to make that pit stop in that final hour, whereas we know the Porsches aren't. So that's the gap. There's Simo. In the banking, coming around in pit lane entry. RSJ just clearing out. So RSJ in 3rd position in the GTEs. Woody not far behind RSJ at all. This has been a good session for Woody.
Yeah, good comeback.
He'll be very happy with his drive. No incidents that I can recall. He's kept it very clean, and that's the way to do it. Magic Hand, a bit of traffic there. There's is it Darky? Yep, Darky's come through there. Put another like GTE car between him and Loft Vanish. Magic Hand's lifted there. I could hear the engine note change just a fraction. Probably didn't need to. Is he having trouble there with that car? He's got full throttle there, but the revs are still rising in fourth, into fifth. Valuable experience there for Magic Hand. Let's hope he sticks with it. Other people call him Par. For some reason I like Paro better. Aussie's it. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Ran out of fuel. Forgot about that.
Only need a splash and dash though. 5 minutes to go.
He's done well. Yeah, he's done
Hasn't
well.
been able to hold on to fourth though, but.
And that's Pegasus gone past.
Oh wow.
Pulled that one out of the ashes.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still struggling with that turn one though. Car's not quite balanced properly. No, Pegasus definitely gonna have a nice little lead coming into the last 5 minutes. Oh, poor old Aussie Carter. That's heartbreaking having to come into the pits with 5 minutes to go, but you know you've got to do it. You probably know a long way out that you're gonna have to do it. You could put the car into lean, you can fuel conserve, but you know in the end you're gonna still have to bite it. So Darky, 4.5 minutes to go. He'd be just hoping now. He'd be having the fingers crossed. As with Gear 3 Gaming, watching at home. Gear 3. Look what can happen, mate. Look what can happen.
Yep.
You just have to stay on the track. You don't have to push so hard in those early sessions.
Yeah.
You've got it all to fight for late in the race. It's a learning experience. It's not a push hard every lap sort of race. You can see, look at the different lines. The guys are really struggling with these tyres now.
Yeah.
Look at the times, dropped off mid-36s. Nürburgring in the 140s.
Yeah, he's starting to come to under pressure from Lloyd. He should be able to hold Lloyd off, but getting very close.
So, the boys here at the front just have to be smart about it. You're not going to really gain much here by pushing too hard, but you still have a lot to lose. So Darky's coming up on Nürburgring here.
Yeah.
I'll jump inside Darky's car. See how he negotiates this critical late lap. He's going to sit behind him into the bus stop. Nürburgring's saying no, take me please. And now you've just, it has. And that's what I mean. It's just, you know, even late into the session, you think it's all done and dusted, 3 minutes to go, not much can happen, but you come across a car like that, and there's just that indecision between the two cars. Nürburgring's saying, please pass me. Darky's saying, no, I'm going to sit behind you here. I don't want to take the move. I'll sit and pass you after the chicane. But Nürburgring's gone offline. Darky's been forced to take the, look at that. It's not over for this session. It's not over for this session. Loft's still got a little bit up his sleeve. And look at the 16 metres he's still got. He's really overfueled that car. That's oh, look at this. Look at this. It's on again. There's nothing in it.
Could be a grandstand finish at the end of this session.
180 laps to the book, and they're still going for it. And mentally, who's got the willpower? Who's got the stronger mind of who's got the better car? There's nothing in it. Now, fellas,
okay.
Be sensible here. Be sensible. Don't do anything crazy. You could let the rest of the field back into this very easily here. 1 minute 43 to go. You've got nothing really to gain. So you're going to be starting nose to tail in session 4. But there's a lot of pride.
Loft Vanish got too much of that entrance curve to the
air through there.
Chicane. Happened to me a couple of times last night. You just hit that first curve a little too much and it just pivots the car left.
Still in the draft, Shadow. He's going to be right on him in turn 1.
Into 6. Getting up to 320
I can
kilometers
see a
per hour.
Porsche up there. Is that the Porsche? Yeah, it's a Porsche
Freight
up there.
trainer.
Oh, testing times here. This will be the last lap. This will be the last lap. He says lock vanish. Can you come through too, please? Hear that little bit of squealing from the lock diff? Lost. Darky going for it here on the last lap of 2 hours of intense racing. Topsy-turvy session. Things have been thrown on their head. It's been great viewing. Anyone that's tuned into this would have to watch session 4 to see what's going to happen here.
Yeah, tune in 2 p.m. Sydney time.
15 seconds.
To hit that follow on this Twitch channel, you won't want to miss it.
You do not want to miss this. This is going to be a classic.
Can Nürburgring hold on to 3rd in the final session?
There's narratives and storylines by Dark Racing 40.
Done well.
Very impressive. He got off to a flying start. And he's ripped his way through this field to take out session 3. My goodness. That's brilliant. Well done, Darky.
Yep.
Well done, Darky. And Loft. Loft in your first 2-hour event. That's a great... Yeah, oh, look at this. Look at this.
The AI cards are getting stuck into it.
Is that a friendly tap, or is that a little bit of aggression there? Or just playing a little bit of mind games for session 4? Nürburgring's brought there of Woody.
That was Woody.
His race is complete as well.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yep. So that might be interesting to see how that turns out with laps involved there, because he might have missed an extra lap down.
Yeah.
Freight, look at that. He's judged the fuel well there, 5.3.
Yeah, in fact he could have taken a bit less fuel in that final pit stop. Top 4 drivers all had penalties. So maybe getting the penalty might be, you might have to just purposely get a penalty just to climb yourself up the field.
So 2 seconds to Darky, 4 seconds to Loft. Pretty much irrelevant there. Just the session results.
Gonna be starting head to head.
No, yeah, it's gonna be on. It's gonna be on from the drop of the flag.
You won't want to miss it.
Brilliant. Brilliant driving.
Glad to see so many people tuning in the early hours of the morning in Australia. Hope you guys have all enjoyed. We race hard like this every week, so
that's it. Get involved, people. We'll have the final results up there. Yeah, you want to run through them, Sato?
Yep. So Dark Racing 40, of course, takes the lead. Lafanish still in the top 2, held positions. He's done well there. Nürburgring 3rd, Lloyd, Pegasus, and Carter's all on the same lap. Going to be a great battle to the end for those guys. Freight Trainer kept it out in the lead in the GTE class and actually built a gap to Simo Racing. RSJ keeping the car in 3rd, and Woody Lizard climbed up to 4th. He drove phenomenally well. Magic Hen, I think first time driving for our group, and he's done quite well. He's only 2 laps behind and will get compressed up. Did that extra pit stop. Pa had a session from hell. But he's only 3 laps back, so he'll get compressed up as well. So all the cars except for, I believe, the number 3 JP Simshed car will be on the lead lap for the final session. Streaming at 2 p.m. Sydney time here on the ANZCRL Combined Racing League Twitch channel.
Looking forward to it, Sato. That's going to be awesome.
There's
a much more enjoyable commentating with you in that session than what it was racing against you last night. But I'm disappointed that your teammate has had a technical issue and has had to drop out of the session. That's really disappointing, because I think we were really gonna have at least a 3-way battle, probably with Dado in the car, a 4-way battle into that last session. In fact, I couldn't really write off any cars in either divisions. The way this race, as we saw in that session there, in 2 hours, it was completely mixed up, turned around, spun on its head, flipped upside down. It was unbelievable. I don't. Anything can still happen. Anything.
Yep.
That's 24-hour racing.
Yep. So, thank you everyone for tuning in to this broadcast. Glad to see all 15 of you, which is a big number for our broadcasts. We're still in our infancy when it comes to that, so thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for commenting in the chat. Good to see it be quite lively, and we'll see you in 2 hours time.
Thanks, Adam.